Okay, all right, y'all, we're live. So, this is another topic I've been wanting to go over, cross it off my list. This is about the divine feminine. She doesn't ask permission. Okay, we need to fix that because women are being taught, by whom I wonder, that they need to ask permission for shit all the time. They need to ask permission for money. They need to ask permission for space. They need to ask permission for bodily autonomy. They need to ask permission to have an opinion. They need to ask permission for whatever the fuck. And that needs to stop. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You being the life force of the planet itself, which is the feminine, because it gives fruit, correct? You being the life force in the center of the universe, you don't need to ask anybody's motherfucking permission for anything, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I feel the need to say this because there's always somebody who needs to hear it. You have spent enough time asking for shit. You've spent enough time doing that. You can still be nice to people and you can still ask to, like, you can still ask people permission in respect for their boundaries when it comes to certain things. You know, like ask if it's okay to take pictures of their children, blah, blah, blah. Things like that that we know, you would ask before. But if we're talking about something that you need or something that's about your life or something that's about you, or something that's to keep you alive or anything like that, there is no reason for you to be asking permission for that. That doesn't make any sense. We got too many damn men out here who sit there and have us trained to think that we have to ask them for help and ask them, well, you can ask them for help, but I mean, like, in such a way that you're hoping against all hope that they'll do it, and that you're hoping against all hope that they'll say yes. That's not how that's supposed to go at all. You are supposed to be able to state that you need something and then get it from them and then just move on. Okay, there's no reason for you to be hung up on this kind of shit. We've been taught this because if women are taught that they have to ask for everything, they can be told no, they can have it held over their head if they do get it. It can be controlled, it can be bottlenecked, to where they only get so much. That is a great way to control somebody who doesn't know their human rights, doesn't know what boundaries are, doesn't know what self-respect is. Making somebody ask for shit all the time and ask permission for this and that and the other is great if you're like trying to control a kid or something like that, or a dog. Okay, grown women do not need to be asking permission for shit. When was the last time you saw me ask somebody permission for something? I don't ask for dick. Okay, I don't ask for shit. I live my life. I do as I please. I take shit when I want it. I don't feel bad about it. I eat when I want. If I need somebody's help, I tell them what the problem is, and I say, I think you would be great for this. Or are you able to do it? I don't say, can you help me? I don't beg for help. It's not that. You don't do that. You don't do that. But you say, especially if you need somebody to help you with something, it's, this is my situation, blah, 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 I need blah, blah, blah. And you state it as a statement, as a fact. And then you say, are you able to do that? Can you handle that? The question is not, can you help me? But the question is, can you handle it? Especially if you're talking to a man. If you're talking to a woman, that's different, because we're not out to get each other most of the time. We're not out to get each other, and most of the time we're not out to conquer each other or control each other. Because women aren't so much about control as they are just competition. But with men, they're out to control. And you have to keep that in mind when you need something from one of them. You need them to do some physical labor or something like that. Fix a toilet or whatever. You have to keep in mind that they're looking for an opportunity, the next opportunity, to either get between your legs and or control you. That being the harsh reality that, we live in kind of for the most part, especially when they... most of them don't know what they're doing with women, and so most of the time when they approach you, they're looking for their next win. They're looking, for the next thing they can claim as property, which is, in their eyes, hopefully you. So that being how they see you, I don't want you to feel bad about turning the tables, as it were. And but in order to be able to do that confidently, you have to be able to start seeing yourself differently. And you have to be able to start seeing yourself as the divine feminine that is in the center of the universe, at the core. There's no reason to see yourself as any less than that. Your value is not less than that. Okay? You're not below that. Not to me anyway. So if you can see yourself, if you can look at nature and see what nature is up to, and see that everything in nature that gives fruit freely, the things that keep us alive like that, the things that play a huge role and stuff like that, that's the divine feminine. Obviously it gives fruit. There's no denying that. Animals thrive in the divine feminine. They play a small part, but they thrive because of it. So I would say for the most part, that's probably masculine, the animals themselves. They contribute here and there, but for the most part, they need the earth to do what it's doing. Children operate in the divine feminine. They're always in creative mode. They're in playtime. And that doesn't mean that women, screw around and don't do anything important. What it means is creative mode is where life starts. We know this. We know that we do this. So children being in creative mode all the time, they're in artistic mode, right? They're always coloring. They're always trying to build things. They're always imagining things. What could be possible? They're always like imagining the possibilities. Imagining. Every time they get together, what do? Pretend. It's because they're creating something out of nothing. That's feminine. You go in the kitchen, you have 2 damn ingredients, you make bread. All of a sudden you got bread. You can go in the kitchen with nothing but a sack of flour. If you have flour and water, you can make bread out of that. So now you got something you can eat. And all you had was 2 damn ingredients. You were in creative mode and you made something very valuable out of just about nothing. You take one tiny ass little microscopic sperm that does one damn thing, which is swim. It's got one purpose, is to swim. And you took that with all the rest of your work and created a human out of that. There was one tiny contribution from the other side, one minuscule contribution from the other side. No hate. But it was 2% that and 98% you. And look what came about. So you did do most of the work. We know this. But if you're going to start carrying yourself or start acting like, or start seeing yourself as somebody who is going to get what they want from this life and not ask permission, not have to beg and shit like that, which you shouldn't have to do anyway. Unless you're using it to manipulate, that's different. But it depends on the situation. We'll get to that some other time. But if you can see yourself at the core of nature and at the core of the universe and being the foundation for everything, hell, every human is XX before they're XY. So I don't understand why you're asking permission from him. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're the foundation part. You're the fundamental part. The damn Y chromosome can't survive unless he kills half of you. The one of your X's from the egg. He's got to kill one of those X's to be a Y chromosome. But he can't live unless he lets the other X live. The other X has to live in your egg, because your eggs have the XX, right? The other X of yours has to live in order to keep him alive. If he's going to turn out to be a boy. Do you see what I mean? It's in science. It's in science. You're at the foundation of the universe. He wants to destroy you so he can feel good about himself, the sperm, but he can't because he needs your other X in order for him to survive anyway. So all this nonsense about them being in charge and all this other shit, that's bull. That doesn't mean anything to me. No offense, but it doesn't mean anything to me. They have no business being in charge. They operate on the reptilian cortex. It doesn't mean shit to me, okay? Your frontal cortex is twice the size of theirs. And it's like, so you can't worry about what they're doing. And whether or not, you can you have to ask permission and shit like that. That's bull. You don't need to be doing that. Too many women have gone along with, oh well, you know, if I can get this man to just help me with blah blah. No, this is why I enjoy being independent from him financially, because I don't have any interest in hoping, you know, a man is gonna come through and pay some bill for me. That's why it was so hard being married for me. You know, it was hard being married. He had a good old time because he got so many benefits from me, but I that was utter shite, and I got out of there. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, that was really miserable. I'll probably never do that again, because I'm around better men these days, but I don't want anybody living with me. Just don't. I mean, why? For what? But, you know, there's no reason for the divine feminine to be asking for shit. There's no reason for that. You ask for what? You're at the core of the universe. Everything in this universe is designed to operate around you. The feminine is at the center. She gives life. Period. Done deal. We already see that. You know, that there's no invention or scientific breakthrough that's going to be bigger than that. Sorry. And that the divine feminine has to be looked after, cared for, respected, worshipped, honored, revered. She's meant to receive those things, and to receive love, and to receive worship, and to receive reverence, and receive protection, and receive you know, being taken care of and looked after, and shit like that. And there's no other way that's supposed to go. We've been robbed of that with the way things have gone for the past 6,000 years, but I think that's about to turn on its head. But they don't have any business being at the center when they don't do the same things we do. And with you being at the core of creation, you need to see yourself that way so that you'll quit asking permission for shit. That's no way to live. There's no reason to ask. You know, there are some places, I won't, you know, narrow down what system this is under, but I've heard of some systems, you know, around the world where the wife or the women in the house have to ask the men for a drink of water when they want water. They have to ask if they can get up and get some water. And that is probably like one of the lowest forms, you know, of control. I mean, one of the greatest forms of control I've heard about in a long time. That plus, you know, the usual stuff, you know, the rape and the killing and stuff like that they do all the time anyway. But this world is upside down right now, and it has been for quite a while. And we're so accustomed to the way things are, and the boys will be boys type shit, you know, because they've quit correcting each other. So it's all gone to hell now. And because they've gotten lazy, and they've gotten to where they don't want to be held responsible for each other. But I don't see, they're so proud of the civilization they've supposedly built all by themselves. But yet they don't make the moves to protect it. So they don't keep each other in check. They don't correct each other when one of them's doing something wrong. Everything just kind of falls by the wayside, and they all just kind of like will use the excuse, well, that's none of my business. That's none of my business. That's none of my fucking business. And it doesn't matter how bad it is. They'll stay out of it. So because they don't correct each other, they don't evolve. They don't learn. They're not learning anything. They just turn their back and look the other way. So, that is if they complain about their society falling apart, you know what? It might be time to let it. It might be time to let it fall apart. Because, number one, they deserve it for not trying to keep it up and trying to do the right thing and treat everybody right, and also correct the ones that are doing wrong. And then people say, well, people go to prison for that, blah, blah, blah. No, but that's what it takes. That's what it takes to get them to listen. And even after that, they come out doing the same shit half the time. They don't always learn. And that's just from, you know, being stupid. Women who end up in prison kill their abusers. That's how they end up in prison. So, I mean, it's just like, you know, this world is as far upside down as it could possibly be. But I think things are shifting because women are starting to realize their value, and they are starting to realize that enough is enough, and we've been under their boot for long enough. And I don't hate dudes, it's not that, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the instinct and the inner thoughts that you have when they do dumb shit, and you sit there and think to yourself, damn, you don't have any business being in charge of anybody. That is accurate. That is accurate what you're thinking. They don't have any business being in charge of anybody. For what? The people who push out humans are the ones who ought to be in charge of them. Period. I don't know why this is up for debate. There's no reason for them to be in charge. Of what? They can't even be in charge of dogs because they beat them so much, and they use them for fights and shit like that. That doesn't make any sense. And not all of them, but every 9 times out of 10 when you see it, it's a bunch of dudes in some bullshit ass neighborhood making them fight for money. Anything in nature that can be profited from. They'll watch nature destroy itself if they think they can get rich off of it. It's just like, so, and they do it to women too. Why do you think the porn industry exists? Anything to degrade you and put you as far down on the bottom as you could possibly be. They'll do it if it means making them feel good, making them feel powerful, or making money off of it. Anything. So you have to really turn around your mindset, and you have to really change and retrain your brain to see things differently and to see yourself differently and your place in the cosmos and your place in this world. You've got to start seeing yourself differently and seeing yourself with some damn power. And what this means for women is to give yourself some credit. Give yourself some credit. It doesn't make any sense for you to sit there and just go your whole life wiping everybody's ass. And then at the end of your life, you're going to do that shit where you say, well, I've done my best, hopefully everybody's happy, blah, blah. And then something will happen where somebody might, or especially a man, might challenge that and say, well, you could have, da-da-da-da-da. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you could have done better. Remember that time, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, when that happens, something explodes inside you and you start getting real mad and you start thinking about all the things you've done that you've never gotten thanks for. And all the things you had to do to make him happy. All the times you had to do it with him when you didn't want to. And you did it anyway, just to shut him up. All those violations that you underwent just to make somebody else happy. Now all of a sudden you're enraged because you know how much, deep down, you know how much you've given to him and to this world. And you've gotten no thanks for it. You don't want that to be you. So you know deep down what your value is. Because you get mad when somebody challenges it. So it's not a mystery to you, but you need to bring that part of you that knows your value up to the damn surface so you can start acting like it every day. And once you start doing that, you won't have people taking advantage of you as much because you'll know how to say fucking no to something. I tell women this when it comes to the old boyfriends that are so awful. If you're getting out of a narcissistic relationship with somebody and he did nothing but use you, take advantage of you, humiliate you, violate you, abuse you, all that shit, and you look back and you get angry thinking about it, and you get angry thinking about how he did all that shit to you. You're angry because a boundary was violated. That's where anger comes from. Most of the time, a boundary is violated. But why does it make you angry? Because he did you wrong. But why? Because you have value. You have value. And you realize, and deep down, you know that. But that can't be some emotion that just hides deep down in you somewhere in the recesses, that's smothered by your daily thoughts of, oh, I got to get all this other shit done. Let me do my daily spiel. The part of you that realizes that it's wrong for somebody to shit and piss all over you needs to be the part of you that's up at the top surface of everything running your show. That's the part of you that you need to let out and control everything and pull all the strings. Not the martyrdom you that's going to bend over backwards for everybody and then just hope against all hope at the end of your life somebody's going to be nice enough to hopefully look after you for a little bit, before throwing you in a nursing home or whatever it is because they're sick of you. Sometimes they got to go in nursing homes because they need the help, but a lot of people end up there because nobody wants to deal with them, and you don't want that. Not after everything you've done for everybody. So don't, you know that it's wrong deep down to give of yourself like that and not get anything in return. But you held your tongue for long enough. So it's time to just turn all that shit on its head. Just turn all that shit on its head and just say, you know what, damn it, I'm not going to stand for this thing longer. I'm going to live my life for me, and y'all can just fucking play along or not. And that's going to be the end of it. There's no reason to bend over backwards and hope somebody's going to help you in the end, or hope your investments might pay off with these people that you're taking care of, or hope one day somebody's going to love you, or ask, for something after all you've done for somebody. You've done so much for him. You've cleaned up after him. You've scrubbed the shit stains out of his underwear. You've done all those things, and then you ask for $40 because you need something or whatever. And he's sitting there talking about, I don't know if I have it. First of all, you shouldn't be there anyway if he can't give you money. Like if he's broke, I want to know what else he has to offer you. Besides that, because you can't be marrying somebody who can't put gas in your tank. But there is no reason to be asking for permission when you're at the core of the damn universe. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But you have to start seeing yourself that way daily. Daily. And yes, I tell myself this shit too. So, but the good news is I'm seeing a lot of that, especially in young women. I'm seeing a lot of taking care of themselves, putting themselves first for once, instead of just like dating a string of men they don't even like, just to be nice and shit like that. Remember those days? We don't do that shit anymore. Because I did that when I was younger. Well, he's nice. It'll make him happy if I be his girlfriend for a few weeks. I better go ahead and do this. That's what I thought I was supposed to do. Well, there was a time when I was at school. I don't tell the story a lot, but there was a time at a school dance when I was like 12 years old. And there was a boy at the school who was at that dance who was crazy about me. But the problem was he creeped everyone out. He was weird as shit. He was weird. I'm not even going to, he was weird. And no one understood him. No one understood the stuff he talked about. He couldn't relate to anybody. He didn't have any friends. He would say stuff that was like real out of left field and hard to understand. He would say things that like didn't fit in with the conversation. Like he was just in some other world. And he creeped people out, and nobody really, the kids were nice to him, but they didn't spend a lot of time around him. So this kid was obsessed with me for some odd reason, and he was at the dance. and my mom was there at the dance. Well, somehow word got back to my mom that kid was in love with me. And and she said, and she got mad at me because I didn't want to be his girlfriend. I was like 13 or something. I wasn't any older than that because I remember the school I was at, and it stopped at 8th grade, so I couldn't have been any older than 13. And she got mad at me and she said, why won't you be his girlfriend? Why won't you do that? It would make him happy. Do you have any idea? And some of you do. But do you have any idea the seed that plants when you say that to your daughter? Why don't you be his girlfriend, goddammit? It'll make him happy. Don't you want to make him happy? Shit. Okay, I guess I'll do that. It's like, what? Shit. So for years after that, I dated people. That was all it took, was one night of her to hear that one time. That was all it took to screw me up for years. For years after that, I went out with boys I did not fucking like. I didn't like them. But I went out with him because I thought, well, I have to make him happy. I have to make him happy. I have to make him happy. And that doesn't make any fucking sense. That doesn't make any sense. Who tells their kid, why don't you do that for so-and-so to make them happy? You don't care about your kid being happy? I don't understand. Because there's probably still people talking like that to their children now. I wish I could just knock their fucking heads together. Because that screws them up forever. Boys won't listen to it because they think they're already God anyway. But girls don't realize how important they are, and no one teaches them either, for the most part. And then they come in, and then somebody comes in and says some shit like that, and you're putting the core of the universe down below everybody's shoes. Do you understand the damage it does? And it took me, look how long it took me to recover from that. I'm 36 now. Look how long it took me to quit and date men I didn't fucking want. It takes a lifetime. It takes forever to learn how to stop doing shit like that to yourself. all because one person said one thing. So it's a lot of work to undo all of the programming and all of the wounds and all of the bullshit mental stuff that you've been taught to just do things for other people because it makes them happy. It doesn't matter if they're happy. It matters if you're happy. And the rest of the world can just catch up. Really. And the reason women think this is selfish when I say this shit is because they're not used to thinking that way. It's because they're still swamped by wounded feminine, and they're still sitting there thinking, oh, well, I shouldn't be that way. That's not nice, because you're taught to be nice all the time. It doesn't matter about being nice. That doesn't mean anything. You need to be nice to yourself. Other people have the day that they plan on having. If they want to have a good day, they can make it a good day. Let them make it a good day. It's their life. They're in charge of their life. No one's coming to save everybody. I know that people are into the salvation thing. I'll tell you right now, no one's coming to save our asses. You're in charge of yourself. The other people in the world are in charge of themselves. If they're grown adults making decisions every day, they're in charge of their own life. No one's going to swoop in and rescue them. It's up to them to do the right thing. It's up to them to put themselves first. It's up to you, unless you think the rapture is going to come and get you or whatever. I don't know, but damn it, until then, you better be looking after you. Your life matters enough for you to be in charge of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your life matters enough for you to be in charge of it. There's no reason to put it in somebody else's hands. No offense, but especially not a man. Unless you've got somebody who's like top fucking tier. And if you do, God bless you. Good, I'm glad. You deserve it. You may as well have them. But most of these dudes don't know what they're doing, period. They can't make their own sandwich. That's why they're always joking about you making it. They don't know how to get in there and make it. They can't do that. Look at a sandwich that a dude makes. Look how bad it looks. They probably don't even put lettuce on there. It's just like a slab of, old bologna and 2 pieces of, crunchy bread that have been sitting in the refrigerator for a month. They don't know how to, they can't survive without you. So why are you asking permission for shit? You shouldn't be asking permission for anything from anybody. Not for help, not for anything. You state what you need, and from people, you state what you need, even with yourself. Tell yourself things you need to do. Damn, I need to ... Damn, I need to make a savings account. Damn, I need to make a business investment. Damn, I need to make a whatever. And just state it to yourself like a fact, because that's what it is. And then just start doing it. Ask permission. What are you gonna do? Who's because you're waiting on somebody to come in and swoop in and rescue you. That's not how it works. No one's gonna do that for you. You have to save yourself. I mean, you can hire people like me to help you along the way, which is perfectly fine, and you should, because it always helps to have somebody who knows what they're doing and that can just guide you along. But in the end, it's going to be up to you. And I don't mean for women to be like rugged individualists or whatever. It's not that. You should have people helping you. But the problem is, in this world right now, the way this place is, it's not really working in our favor. The divine feminine in this world right now is being forced to do everything on her own. She is being forced to do everything on her own. And that's not natural. Things are supposed to be done for us. Things are supposed to be given to us. We're supposed to be helped, taken care of, catered to in such a way. That is why we exist. We're here to just be and enjoy and look good and enjoy being alive and show the rest of the universe and the rest of this world what it looks like to just be beautiful, to just be graceful, to just be fantastic. Show them what it looks like. Ta-da! That should be your biggest thing. Show them what success looks like. Show them what feminine power looks like. You walk in the room, every head turns, everybody's listening to you. As soon as you start talking, everybody stops and listens. That's feminine power. That's the divine feminine at work. And it's actually the dark feminine, which is a little bit deeper, but you all know I get on those topics. But that is how that's supposed to be. You're not supposed to ask for shit. That doesn't make any sense. So if that's something you're interested in, if you're interested in turning your mindset around and putting yourself at the center of your own life and putting yourself in charge, and being in control and having what you want and being remembered and being revered and respected and having people be interested in you, wanting to know more about you, and just being, a badass in general, just like, daily, and learning how to put yourself at the center of your world, and to quit bowing down for other people and do what other people want all the time just because, if you're ready to just like really run your own life and really, really be in charge, I would love for you to join the Dark Femme membership that I have, because that is where we do that. It's ongoing, it's monthly. I do a video every week, so it's a lot of content, and the membership goes for a year, and then and it's just a space for us to, come together. It's a community. You can get in the chat. I do private videos every week. You can catch me live, get in the chat, ask me questions, stuff like that. If you want me to answer a question, or better yet, if it's a really good topic, I'll do a whole video on it, on your topic. And it's just a space for you to come in and just choose ease and choose yourself. And choose to be with you, and choose to be present with yourself, and choose to just put yourself at the top for once. You've put yourself at the bottom for long enough. It's time to put yourself at the top, and just be in charge. Be in charge of your own life. Be the badass that you've always wanted to be. Be the badass you've always aspired to be. That you wish you could, but you thought you couldn't. You can. Those parts of you are in there, but you need somebody to help you tap into that and pull that shit out and act like it every day. And people won't take advantage of you as much. That they won't even try to. They won't even be able to, because you'll be too sly. You'll be too cunning to be taken advantage of. And I could go on all day about it, but if you have any questions, you can just message me and ask me, and I'll send you the link. But that is where that mindset leads to, is into the dark feminine, where you just decide to be in control of your own life, period, in all aspects that you can imagine. So that's it for that. Like I say, if you're interested in that, message me and I'll give you the details. You can sign up anytime, you can leave anytime. It's ongoing, so there's not like a timeout or a limit or anything like that. And it's just a space to be the best version of you can possibly be, and to not let men control you anymore, any of that kind of shit. You would just be in charge, large and in charge forever. Like you're supposed to be. So that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be the badass that enters the room and everybody stops and says, "Oh my God, look at her. That's so incredible." That should be said about you. You deserve that. So if you're ready to really shift and turn your life around and do that shit, let me know. And that's it for now. And thanks for listening. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.